Hey guys, let's have a reaction here now to ESPN's Esports Center on ESPN, where we'll see what the commentators analyzed and said about the arrival of star Luka Doncic to the Lakers. He was introduced today and even spoke at a press conference expressing his extreme joy at being with all the fans and will also be keeping company with several Lakers stars. What's being talked about a lot is his pairing with fellow star LeBron James. The commentators will comment on this and you'll get the reaction. Credit to ESPN. And now let's go straight to the video.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first, and it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home, so it was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. Obviously, at some point I knew this was going to happen, but I would say I always take the high road. You know, I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and the most importantly, the fans. You know, they always supported me, and it was an amazing journey. I thought I was going to spend my whole career there because I think loyalty is a big word for me, and I was trying to stay by that. But this for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing, and I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me. But really, I'm really excited to be here. I getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many legends passed here, many championships. So that's my goal.
Can't beat the ocean. Our NBA reporter Dave McMenamin joins us from outside the Lakers training center. So we heard what he had to say. You were in the room for the entirety of Luka's presser. So what stood out to you most, his first appearance in LA?
Yeah, Christine, so much of today is about looking forward to Luka Doncic's time with the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we could do that, we had to look back at his time with the Dallas Mavericks. And Luka was asked some pointed questions about some of the rhetoric coming out of Dallas on his way out the door. Specifically, when asked about the notion that he gave some indication to the Mavericks that he would not sign a max extension to stay with them, he said, quote, absolutely not. When it comes to the accusations of his conditioning not being good enough and not being professional enough,
saying, I think Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. And I don't think that was hyperbole here, Bobby. What stood out to you the most from what Luka said? That he was willing to commit 5 years, $345 million, and basically spend the rest of his life in a Dallas Maverick uniform. Yeah. Usually we see players trying to force their way out of situations. Here's a player that wanted to be there long term.
Yeah, and Bobby brought this up yesterday, and now let's transfer that to what that means now. The Lakers do not have the Supermax to offer him. That's now against the rules. And so now they have a little bit of work to do between now and the summer. And Bobby talked about this yesterday, and Rob Pelinka talked about this today. They have to work on this roster. But in July, they're going to come to Luka, and they're going to offer him a 5-year contract extension, I assume, without the ability to offer the Supermax. And will Luka sign the 5-year? Yep. Will he sign something less than the 5-year? Will he not sign anything at all and roll over towards free agency in 2026? This isn't something that I think should keep people up at night, but is something that Rob Pelinka has to begin thinking about immediately, including before the deadline on Thursday. And he openly talked about how they needed to get a center, and he called the market for centers right now dry. Yeah, we're going to hear from him in a minute. That's interesting. Literally, though, this did keep Luka Doncic up. He said he had to check his phone to make sure this wasn't an April Fool's. That's how shocking this was to him. I think he handled it really, really well, Mark. He answered all of the questions the way that you would hope your new franchise star would, particularly some pretty pointed questions about his exit with the Mavericks, about what people were saying about him, about his conditioning, about his weight. He said that he's going to use all of that as motivation. I think what I took away from it was that he's absolutely open to this. He's excited about this, but he did not want to be traded. He made that pretty clear.
Yeah, no, he said he's a loyal guy. Yeah. And I'm sure Dallas fans aren't happy and they're giving up their season tickets and all that. But I am curious about how he fits into the LA landscape. And what I mean by that is you got Kareem and Magic. He's more Kareem than Magic. He's more Mike Trout than Shohei Ohtani. And I just wonder if he's a guy that he loves the showtime of the game, but once the game is over, he doesn't want to do the celebrity thing. So I wonder how he adapts to LA. Is the constant of everybody expecting to meet you, expecting to have a meeting, expecting you to be in this commercial, expecting to have time with you. Because I got money and I got privilege. I think he's going to shoot that down, and I wonder how he adapts to that, to the media, which is going to be much grander, the spotlight. He was big in Dallas, but this ain't the Cowboys. This is the biggest thing here. He says it's the greatest club in the world. So I'm really curious to how he adapts to the brand that is the Lakers and the attention that comes with it.
Yeah.
With the LeBron shield now that will eventually go away.
Yeah, there's no better mentor to that spotlight than LeBron James. But I'm also curious, Luka said that maybe in the next couple of days even we could see him on the floor. Remember, we haven't seen him since Christmas Day. Chine, what's that going to look like next to LeBron?
Look, it's going to be doable.
Yep.
LeBron is one of the greatest basketball hybrid vehicles that we have ever seen. I mean, we talk about him combining positions as a point forward, but I think there's going to be a heavy emphasis on screeners, on someone who can go in there and set screens and create offense for LeBron James, something that's different because he's been the primary playmaker. So check out these plays with Reeves initiating the offense. LeBron screens and slips this one time and is able to hit a tough mid-range to score. Now you can set a screen again, LeBron, but instead you short roll. Short roll is probably the best thing, one of the most high IQ basketball plays you can make, because you can make reads off of short rolls. Here you get a pass. And last but not least, when he screens, he's also able to survey the entire floor better than anybody else in the NBA. So here's a nice set screen, and instead you see a swing pass all the way across court, a skip pass to a shooter with a nice in screen on the backside. So LeBron James, it's not just thinking when he brings the ball up. He can now be utilized as a 4 or even potentially as a 5, because they're going to need probably some minutes at the 5 as well to really initiate offense as a screener. And I look forward to see what JJ does, more creatively, especially with LeBron and Luka on the floor.
To your point, they may be playing a little bit of small ball here, particularly after what we heard micro ball from after what we heard
Remember that, y'all?
from Rob Pelinka here, because that was the other takeaway from this presser, right? Rob Pelinka talking about why this trade was made and what they think they still have to do here. The Lakers have some pretty big holes to fill on this roster. Here's Pelinka on exactly what Brian was talking about, how they replace a player like Anthony Davis.
There's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic. And if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe. I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade.
Some people in the NBA would submit that he does have a magic wand.
Yes.
So I'm not sure I can take that at face value. Yeah. The Lakers have to get a center. LeBron is not going to play center, like, ever. He doesn't want to do it, especially at age 40, even if it's just a stopgap between now and Thursday. You know, one of the big important things that happened for Luka that unlocked him really in Dallas was when they got those athletic bigs, Derek Lively and Gafford, that they could be role men for him, basket defenders. So just like for years teams had to get shooters to spread the floor for LeBron, the Lakers are incumbent on getting an athletic center. But somebody's got to eat the minutes up. And they have assets. They still have assets. I mean, Maxi Kleber is an asset. I mean, he may never see the floor for the Lakers. They may try to trade him by Thursday. They have some other things. But they are tied with Denver right now in the loss column for 4th place. I'm not looking at this team as a championship contender at the second because of what they're missing, but this is a team that has aspirations immediately, and they need a center, and Pelinka's got to keep working on it.
Well, I think there's a level of self-awareness, and he realized that. But I'll say this: I think the next 6 months from now until August 2nd. Is the most important 6 months in Lakers franchise history. Just because there's a lot of different layers here, certainly with the trade deadline here, and as you said, you can't wave a magic wand and go get Wilt Chamberlain to come play for you here, but I do think there's a little bit of a sense of urgency to fix that problem leading up until Thursday. Then we look at LeBron in the offseason as far as with that player option, and then we can circle August 2nd, and I know it's a long way away with Luka extension eligible here, but there's a lot of different moves in how that roster improves leading up to all this here. And if you're Luka, you're looking, okay, I've got LeBron, what else do I have? And it doesn't have to be right now. It's certainly going to have to be in the summer.
That's what I was wondering, is whether or not this was Rob Pelinka maybe laying down some of the groundwork here to say maybe that pick is not going to be gone by Thursday. It could be gone at some point this summer. It may be just a stopgap move that we make.
Yes, Luka Doncic has indeed been made official as a Lakers player, and it's interesting that in the interview he said he thought it was the 1st of April. He already thought it was a lie. So we can see how he was really surprised to be playing for the Lakers. He's only 25 years old and he was introduced today on Tuesday, and he answered the first question that the journalists asked him. The news, just to put it in context, came out in the early hours of Sunday morning, US time. United States, and the players, fans, and former athletes even thought that the journalist's profile had been hacked because it had been reported that this player, Luka Doncic, had been announced. And one of the NBA's great stars, Luka Doncic, is now going to his heart team, according to him. He'll now be able to play with LeBron James. It's interesting that he had recovered from a calf injury, and the expectation is that he'll be visible wearing the 77 jersey. And now he'll be able to make his debut at the earliest against the Utah Jazz there on February 11th, 12. The NBA is now 78 years old and has already undergone major transfers, and this is certainly one that will go down in history. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and follow along, as we'll always be posting reactions with comments about this game here. Credits go to ESPN, and we thank them for allowing us to use this content. Thanks for everything, and see you later.